All right, let's just get right into it, shall we? So I bought two more corals, which I will be placing in this video. One is a branching cypastria, and the other one is an orange lithophyllon. The things that I'm going to be doing is this Montipora hirsuta. It's kind of dying off in the middle, but all of the growth tips are super vibrant and still alive. And this little nub of nothing that I put on this rock is going really well as right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that up and put some in some different areas, maybe a couple on a frag plug. And then I'm also going to cut up this Montipora digitata that broke off, and I'm probably going to put it like somewhere on this or here. Another thing I'm going to do is move this rock to this bottom tank here, and so that we can have a little bit more room so I can move this pump over towards the middle and get more flow towards all the corals here. The bubblegum digitata, all the polyps, as you can see, are out and happy, but the skin is very pale and losing color, as well as this green digitata here. So I think the issue here is flow. It's getting plenty of light, and I don't think it's getting enough flow to get all of the nutrients from the column that it needs. Gorgonian's doing great. These zoas are starting to open up a little bit more. They've been pissed off for quite some time, but they're still hanging in there. And then this stylo back here looks like it might be making a comeback. It's kind of stopped receding, and I'm starting to see a little bit of yellow come out and a few polyps come out as well. And other than that, everything's looking pretty good. I might try getting some of these clove polyps to the bottom tank on one of those rocks down there, so we'll have some room. And then I'm going to be taking this frag of Galaxia and putting it on this bottom rock here. And then I'm going to put the litho on this frag plug and then put it down here. And I think I'm gonna put the branching cyphastria right here. And I think it'll be out of the way of the flow of the Galaxia, and so that it won't sting it. And yeah, that's about it. All right, well, a few days have passed and a few things happened with this tank. So the chalk bass in here, it started acting strange. It was just swimming up in like the corners of the tank, kind of like it was gasping for air, and just being really lethargic, not really eating all that much. So I did a 50% water change on it, and then I also added this UV sterilizer, just in case there was some bacterial issue going on or something like that. So after I did that, the next day he perked back up and he was eating just fine. So crisis averted there, and everything else seems to be doing good. I put a stick of green digitata in here just to see what it would do. It's not really doing that much right now. Color's not all that great and the polyps aren't that out, so I'm gonna do a par test in here, which I haven't done before, and see where the light's at and if I need to adjust it a little bit higher, because I know the green star polyps can take a little bit more light if they need to. And then up in this tank, because I got rid of that big branching rock, I took this rock that's right here, I turned it to the side and took the corals that were off of it and put it on this rock. I did get branching Cyphastria. Another one was kind of like a dark bluish color, and I put it in my tank and immediately started rapid tissue necrosis. And so not really sure what to do there. I did a water change on it. I'm about to do another one just to try and get things back in line. The polyps on this bubblegum digitata, they were retracted for a few days, and then I did a water change, and then they started to come back out a little bit. So gonna do another water change and see if that helps balance things out. And then this hirsuta is looking really good on the ends for the new growth tips. I still haven't fragged it yet. I'm going to after I get back from my trip. The Cyphastria rock's doing pretty good. All of them are really doing awesome except for the Skittles bomb in the back there. I think that's just a coral that, you know, you always have that one coral that you just can't grow, and I think that one is mine. It's probably because I like it a lot, and that's why it won't grow for me. But everything else is doing good. I need to get rid of some of these vermitid snails that are around here, at least the big ones. The little ones don't really bother me all that much, but the big ones send out a whole lot of sweepers. And yeah, everything else is doing good. I transferred the Galaxia coral down there into like a little lagoon type place, like right in the middle of all of these rocks, and it's far away from any other corals, so it won't sting that. I do need to reglue this Favia right here, and then at the bottom, this is a Sunset Montipora that I just got yesterday. So that took that off the frag plug and just popped it right on the rock. So hopefully that comes in nicely. When I do my next tank, I am going to remove a lot of this bubble algae in the process. So it doesn't really bother me all that much. It kind of comes and goes, but if I have the opportunity to get rid of it, I most definitely will. And that's all for now. I'll see you when I get back from my trip. All right, so it's been about 2.5 weeks since I last filmed, and this tank's doing pretty all right. I went on vacation for a weekend, and when I came back, I couldn't find the chalk bass. So throw the rocks apart, couldn't find him. So it seems like he did pass. And just a few days after that, the damsel in this tank actually jumped out, and I found him right down here. So it's very weird for the damsel to jump. He had been in here almost a year. And before I put another fish in, I'm gonna be doing some modifications to prevent jumpers. So anyway, besides that, this tank's doing pretty good. I did make some frags. It's nighttime, the lights going down, so everything's closing up, but the frags are doing pretty good. There's a few that are encrusting onto the frag plug. And then I put the clove polyps on this rock, Leptoceras on there. The toadstool is still on the frag plug, and there's like a little hole there that I just have it in for the time being until I find a permanent home for it. But this tank is doing okay. It got some weird sort of fluffy brown mucus schmutz,
and I did a couple of water changes. It seemed to help out a little bit, but I'm not quite sure what it is. I have a feeling that it might be my water, because my DI resin is cached, as well as the RO membrane. I'm getting about 9 TDS out of it right now, so I'm not going to be using that water until I get some more filters. I'll just be getting some water from the Oakville LFS. But this tank's doing pretty good. The Cypastria rock is doing good. All of them seem to be doing okay, except for this one right here. It's not, it had a little patch that was losing some tissue, but I think it's growing back now. Let me turn off the flow so we can take a top-down look. But this branching Samacora is doing all right. The Symposium's doing well. These two Goniopora are doing all right. And these Zoas right here are still kind of closed up. I think I might start dosing some iodine. The Sunset Montipora is doing really well. It's encrusting onto the rock, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it with this blue light, but this branching Cypastria has made a comeback, and so I'm pretty happy about that. It got knocked off by the gargantuan Mexican turbo snail that's in here, and it was on the floor for a couple of days, and I think that gave it the time it needed to relax. The Pico de Gallo Favia is doing all right. It looks like that one polyp on top is going to be like kind of breaking off and encrusting onto the rocks. We'll see how that goes. This Wolverine Favia has started growing onto the rocks, so I expect that to start taking off even more now. This green digitata is doing a lot better than the one down here next to the bubblegum digitata. That both of those just seem to be just hanging on, not really growing or thriving. So not sure what's going on there, but the Montipora hirsuta is doing fantastic. Fragged up what was left of that one colony, and all the frags are pieces are getting new growth tips. The Sonic the Hedgehog Galaxia down in the little cave down there is doing great, and it's encrusting onto the rock. This rock flower anemones are doing really well. That one's all fluffed up because he's down there in the dark zone, but he's doing all right. This rainbow venom Favia is doing really well. The stylo is still holding on. Seeing some polyps, so it's a good sign. I moved the blasto right here. It's almost nighttime and they start closing up at this time, but it's doing actually really well during the daytime. And then the other Favia, or I'm sorry, the other blasto is right down there, and that's doing really well. This litho was not getting enough flow, and it got some detritus on it, and it looks like some tissue receded a little bit, but it's still doing okay. I think it will be just fine. And so yeah, I'm coming over here to the 1 gallon. This one's doing okay. The 2 sexy shrimp, one is right there. Sorry, the glass is dirty. But the one of them looks like they're pregnant. I don't think it's this one. No, it's the other one, wherever that is. Oh, can't really see it. But I think that one right there looks like it's pregnant. I'm not sure. I'm not a sexy shrimp expert, but the frag of branching GSP is doing good here. The mushrooms are not, so I'm gonna go ahead and move those back into the main tank, and I'm gonna put a new rock structure in here to try out some different frags. I think they might be getting too much light. I didn't realize like how powerful this little light was that came with it, but what I'm thinking about doing is just I have a leftover AI prime, and I'm thinking about just like putting it on there and having it hang off and light this tank so I can control the light a little bit better. And yeah, so that's about it. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments.